All right, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good. My name's mir2, and when I was trying to find the true makeup of a hero, I decided to use really different texts. I didn't want to use the ones that were similar to each other because using different ones really helps carve out the true archetype of a hero. I used A Party Down at the Square, Oedipus, and Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. The protagonist consists of a king who's stereotypical male, middle-aged, ruling a kingdom kind of guy, a woman who is viewed as insignificant to society, and a little boy who doesn't know all the repercussions of the world. So by analyzing these three different characters that aren't similar, it helps find what a hero is. Since this can be a little challenging, I decided to start with Oedipus. Since he's the stereotypical hero, it's kind of easier to start with that and work off of him. So the first sign I saw of him being the hero of the story was in the first scene of the play, when the priest came to and asked Oedipus to help these children, like to see if Oedipus could do anything to help these children fight this plague, even though they didn't have any medicine or anything back then. The priest wanted to see if he could help, and Oedipus was more than willing to give him anything that they needed, food, shelter, anything. He's very unselfish, and he validates his acts through this. But I'll talk about that more later. Heroes also need to be able to perform heroic actions that are viewed as unattainable. Oedipus did this with the Sphinx, like the rhyme the Sphinx gave him. He was the only person who was able to solve the rhyme, and the people viewed him that the people of Thebes saw that he could. He was strong enough and he had strong mentality to be able to carry on a kingdom. So Oedipus also was able to understand others and help them. That's I think a big attribute. Heroes need to be able to understand and relate to others in order to help them. If you can't understand what a person is going through, how in the world are you going to help them through their time of need? As time moves on, people start to change their views and thoughts, and that's why the archetype and the image of a hero changes throughout time. Heroes do not need to be just the middle-aged man who's ruling this kingdom, who knows his place in life, because Oedipus really kind of has a good sense of self. Heroes can be other people as well. Aunt Jennifer is a woman. Now, women are not usually viewed as heroic figures. They're kind of the background, kind of cooking, taking care of the children, not out there in the world. She's viewed as an outsider by society. She had a really tough marriage. Her husband was kind of abusive to her. She had a rough life as a woman back in the day. Her niece to her niece, Aunt Jennifer, was everything that she needed, like a hero needed to be for her. She was mentally strong and an amazing role model. She was inspiring despite the repercussions that life had put on her. So a hero just has to be a strong role model, and they don't have to necessarily be out there saving the world. Heroes also do not have to be grown men and women. They can be children as well. In A Party Down at the Square, a little boy visits his uncle, and he's has to watch this awful party that goes on. Ultimately, the boy does not decide to agree with the whole barbecue and everything, so by standing out and not conforming to the social norm, he essentially saves the lives of other African Americans, his spirit and the spirits of the man that was being burned. The man that was being burned knew that this little boy was not conforming just by his reactions to everything. He wasn't getting excited about anything, so the man could see that, and he could understand that not everyone hated him. Even though this little boy was so young, he knew more than the entire community alone. He could see that everyone was the same, no matter their color, their race, or where they're from. He had a good sense of right and wrong. I was going to do good people, but I saw that as more of a the man was fighting his own battles, and he was his own hero, but to me, heroes need to validate their actions, and he didn't really validate that. Oedipus validated his actions through finding the riddle of the Sphinx. Aunt Jennifer was able to be a good role model despite all the repercussions of life, and the boy did not conform to society. So validating their actions is like the biggest attribute of a hero. Heroes do not have to be stereotypical. They do not have to be men or women. They could be little boys. But heroes, ultimately, it comes down to that heroes need to be anyone that can change a person's life. Thank you.